Wow, I wish there was a Bird of the Year competition this spectacular here in the US that we could participate in. Well, I've got some good news and some bad news for you. The bad news is there isn't. The good news is New Zealand's contest is not actually restricted to just New Zealand. Anyone in the world can vote as long as they have a valid email. And not just that, Forest and Bird themselves say they encourage anyone who is passionate about their favourite native bird to campaign throughout the competition. And by now, I'm pretty sure you know where this is going. Because we are hereby announcing ourselves as the official campaign manager for what we believe to be the best candidate for New Zealand's Bird of the Century. I'm talking, of course, about the Pūteki Teki, also known as the Australasian crested grebe. Look at this beauty. It looks like Paulie D fucked a swan. Even its name is fun to say. Pūteki Teki. Pūteki Teki. It feels like your tongue is tap dancing. And there are so many fun facts about it, like the fact that they are known for carrying their babies on their backs. Like this, which is, yes, it's adorable. And both parents will incubate the eggs and tend to the chicks. They give each other space to co-parent. They don't stifle each other, you know? And you want elegance? Oh, I'll give you some elegance. They have a mating dance where they both grab a clump of wet grass and chest bump each other before standing around unsure of what to do next. I have never identified with anything more in my fucking life. Pūteki Tekis also, and this is true, eat their own feathers by the hundreds to protect their stomachs during digestion, and then will throw up a ball of feathers and fish bones. They are weird puking birds with colourful mullets. What's not to love here? And there is another reason that you should vote for the Pūteki Teki, and that is that its existence is under threat. It's estimated that its New Zealand population numbers fewer than 1,000 birds, and yet tragically, it's never won Bird of the Year before. Although, to be honest, it's also never had us campaigning for it before, has it? And I do think that we can do this. Last year, when the Rock Wren won, it did so with 2,894 #1 votes. So I'm pretty sure that we can beat that, especially because we put together a campaign which could reasonably be described as alarmingly aggressive. First, we put up ads in New Zealand promoting the Pūteki Teki as Lord of the Wings, which is already very exciting. But look, we did not stop there. Because remember, the potential voters are every single inhabitant of Earth. So for the last week, there's also been a bunch of billboards up in the centre of Mumbai, India. Look at them. There they are, a city of over 12 million people. That's a lot of potential votes right there. We also designed this striking animated ad for Japan, which we then managed to put on 4 billboards in the centre of Tokyo, in the so-called busiest crossing in the world. So hopefully that should bring in a few votes too. Now, we tried to get this poster put up in Paris, but they wouldn't do it because the bird was smoking, and apparently cigarettes are banned in advertising there, which seems a little ridiculous considering the entire population of France smokes. So we reluctantly tweaked it and put this non-smoking version up on the Champs-Élysées, right next to the Arc de Triomphe, which has frankly never looked better. Meanwhile, in London, we made this mobile ad telling everyone there to help us crown a real king, and drove it right past the Houses of Parliament and all around the city. And you're thinking, well, that's great, John, but what about Brazil? Surely you did something in Brazil? Don't worry. If you were on Ipanema Beach this week, you might have seen this plane flying around with a vote for the Pūteki Teki ad hanging right off the back of it. And finally, just to push us over the top, we also put up this billboard in Manitowoc, Wisconsin. Because, hey, not everyone lives in big cities, do they? And if you live in Manitowoc, we need your support too. The point is, we are going all out for this thing because I don't just want the Pūteki Teki to win. I wanted to win in the biggest landslide in the history of this magnificent competition. I wanted to do to other Bird of the Century candidates what the Pūteki Teki does to fish in New Zealand's lakes. That is, eat them alive and then throw them back up in a ball of feathers. Because there is frankly no bird on Earth more deserving of the title Bird of the Century than this one right here. I mean, look at this thing. It's in your hands, so please, stop it. So please, before the contest closes at the end of this week, go to votethisbird.com and select the Pūteki Teki as your #1 vote. You need to use a real email address and then verify your vote. Do it, because after all, this is what democracy is all about. America interfering in foreign elections.